Given the inflation of late, the high gas prices, the cost of everything, supply chain issues, what's happening in other countries, for example, in Sri Lanka, where the farmers were told they couldn't use chemical pesticides and fertilizers, they had to go organic, and because of that, a third of the farms went under. You've got the farmers in Holland, in the Netherlands, being forced to again practice ESG, which is resulting in them having to slaughter animals potentially and go bankrupt and belly up, running things. You've got the energy crisis that's happening in Europe with a lot of these countries who've gone very green and gotten away from nuclear power and other forms and are heavily reliant on alternative fuels, alternative energy, which cannot supply the needs of the people. You've got the insane fuel prices both in the US and Canada. You've got, of course, like we said, supply chain issues. You've got baby formula shortages, which were last month, and apparently now there's a shortfall of those. There's all kinds of things that we're seeing out in not just our country, but all over the world. And one has to start thinking, okay, well, how are they all linked? What's related? The high inflation, high interest rates, all of these things. And I listen to the people who are running the show, and the common theme you hear country after country is, well, you know what, we didn't see this coming, or it was just, it was not on our radar, or we just underestimated what happened. And what I find is when I listen to people commenting on this, average everyday people, they give these people the benefit of the doubt. They say, yeah, you know what, these guys are just morons, they're just stupid. These professionals, these so-called experts, they don't know anything. And you know what, at first I used to kind of think that, not anymore. I don't believe it's a question of they don't know anything. They are malevolent people. Bottom line is they're evil. They don't have an issue with the suffering of people to accomplish their agenda. They have a push and a direction they want to see the nations of the world go. They don't want to see borders. They want to see a one world order. And they don't have an issue if economies go bankrupt. They don't have a problem if people in Sri Lanka are starving, or farmers are going belly up in the Netherlands, or people in Canada can't feed their kids. It's irrelevant to these people. They're still collecting their paychecks. They still get paid. And that's all that matters. And it accomplishes their agenda. So when we give these people the benefit of the doubt and we say, well, you know what? Deep down, they're just good people. They're just misguided. No, they're not. They're not good people. Anybody who wants to trans 10-year-olds and give them, basically puberty blockers and give them surgery that will radically change them are not good people. I can't share ideology with people who are pedophiles. I don't see anything good. There's nothing we have that's in common. I don't share an ideology with somebody who believes that mandating and forcing people to get vaccinated is a good thing. We left that planet where free choice and free will went. When we've got people who are primarily only interested in promoting their agenda, promoting their narrative, and are not open to any contrarian points of view. In fact, not only not open, but genuinely, vociferously, vehemently opposed to anybody who has an alternative point of view, and to the point of canceling them in every area. When we have leaders in our country who would freeze the bank accounts of their citizens, I don't share anything in common with them anymore. We cannot find this common ground. So we must realize that we are in an ideological war. And we have to get past the old, be nice Canadians and say, well, you know what, that's okay. Let bygones be bygones. You do you and I'll do me. It's not the way of the world today, I'm afraid. These people are only interested in your demise and the promotion of their ideological worldview. And the only way we're going to stop them is we have to step into the ring and step into the fight. Now, censors, I'm not talking about physical fights. I'm talking about ideological fights. I'm talking in the sense that we have to be in the marketplace of ideas. And when we hear something that's absolutely moronic and stupid, don't just let it go. You must challenge this stuff. Most people who are along with this line of thinking, basically, as we call them, the useful idiots, the ones who don't think for themselves but go along with this, haven't really thought this down more than one or two levels, perhaps maybe even one level. And giving them something to think about is very important. I had a recent discussion with someone who was all about my body, my choice. I said, well, what about when it came to vaccination? Crickets, no idea, no thought process put into it. So we've got people who don't really think anything to any depth because they're not encouraged to. They're told to do a 15, 20 second, 1 minute TikTok video, post something here, go on Twitter, rant about something, but they do not spend any time thinking about it. And they're ginned up by these people, these ideologues, the ESG crowd, the new Green Deal crowd, the, this new there's no such thing as men and women crowd, all of this stuff. It's very hard. I can't see common ground with someone who doesn't believe in science. I don't know where we begin. It's like standing with somebody who says, you know what, gravity doesn't exist, and you're trying to, no, gravity does exist. They're just not going there. So folks, keep an eye on what's going on. Pay attention. We must stay engaged. You can't sit back. I know that for a lot of us in Canada right now, the mandates, all the craziness that we've lived through seems like it was yesterday, but it's not. I had some friends recently that I know who went to the US. They came back. They didn't use the Arrive app, the Nav app or whatever it is. And they got grilled. And now they have the police going to their door to serve them their fine. They've had the commissionaires come by. This is still happening, a $6,500 fine for not agreeing to quarantine or not providing their vaccination status or whatever. This insanity still exists. We still have lots of things that are going on that people aren't aware of. You've still got the same restrictions going into a nursing home. If you're not vaccinated, you still can't access it unless it's some kind of an emergency. So there's a lot of insanity that's still happening that we must put an end to. But above all, do not give these people a pass thinking they're just good people who are misguided. They are not. I hate to say it, they're evil people who are fully knowledgeable of what they're doing. Anyway, thanks for watching. I do appreciate it. Please post any comments you have in the comment section. You can also follow me on my Rumble and my Locals account, and I will see you next time.